Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be the web reading. Let me make sure I have the right paper. Within the web, that is what it's called. That is a, let me see how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 card spread. And we're going to be talking about the topic of moving. So my client here is contemplating a move, and they're rather nervous about it. They feel like they don't know if it's the right decision. So they're moving from one state to another. I'm not going to say where because that's irrelevant. But we're going to see. I'm going to use the Tricker Tarot for you. And then let's see. We'll pull for the energy. We'll pull from the Madame Endoras fortune cards for your reading. So my love, you have a big move that you are contemplating, and we're going to see what the cards say about that. We're going to see if they say or if they reveal that this is a good choice. I always say, regardless of what the cards will reveal, your intuition is always number one. So let that be that. But we're gonna just see the situation, and we'll go from there. I don't think I've done the web reading either for this season of my spooky reading. So this is exciting. I think this is the first one. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay. So as I'm shuffling, Spirit is actually talking to me now, and I feel like the weather is what popped up. I feel like the weather is one of the reasons why you are afraid of moving. I feel like the current state that you are living in versus the state that you are potentially possibly moving to, the weather is very different. And I feel like that is something that is actually, that is something that is actually on your mind, okay? That is something that is causing you to feel like, I don't know if I could handle that kind of weather. It might be too hot for me, or too tropical for me. There might be hurricanes, that kind of thing. So I feel like that's also something that you've been thinking. I feel like Spirit put that on my heart to say that is definitely a worry that you have. So, okay, we're going to start off with the spider, since this is the web reading. The spider, this is the energy surrounding the question. So the card that popped out is the Mystic Circle. This is from the Madame Endoras fortune cards. These, just in case anyone was curious, Madame Endoras fortune cards. I love this deck. This is such a good deck. So the Mystic Circle, your abilities will be enhanced. Now, I freaking love the fact that the imagery of this card is so detailed. It actually, when you look at it from far away, it looks like a labyrinth or like a maze. And I feel like that was my first instinct when I saw this card as a message for you, to say that this whole journey that you are embarking on, or you will be embarking on, is meant to feel like a maze. It's meant to make you feel unsure of whether you're supposed to go, what direction am I supposed to take. It's part of your path, okay? I also feel like Spirit is saying it is symbolizing you needing to trust yourself more. It's also symbolizing taking risks. That's another thing I'm hearing from Spirit. So Spirit is very loud when it comes for you. So I don't know if maybe you connect with your guides on a daily, or you're not connecting enough. But they're definitely talking. So I will do my best to relay what I hear. But that's definitely what I'm feeling. Is Spirit is saying that the reason why you feel this way is how you're supposed to feel this way. And it is unfortunate that it's like at the cost of you feeling uncomfortable, but it's a lesson. Like Spirit is making me feel like it's a lesson for you. Okay. So next we're going to talk to the left. We're going to look at the past, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. Wow. Seven of Pentacles is a card of contemplating change. Okay. We have the lonely scarecrow here, and he's surrounded by a bunch of these crows, right? And it almost looks like the crows are kind of telling him stuff. They're picking at him. Maybe they're teasing him. And I feel like that's so relevant for you, because I feel like you're coming from a past of maybe you had that inner desire, I need change. And maybe in your mind you told yourself, I need change by moving. I need change by, changing my line of work or going to a whole new state. I want to get away from everything, all of this. So perhaps you were feeling in your present, in the recent past, difficulties with other people. This could be family members, these could be friends, but there was a lot of maybe a lot of gossip or just chit chat about you, and you got tired of being picked on. Okay, because that's how I feel with this scarecrow. It's almost like he's being picked on. He's also very alone. Okay, he's in a patch of pumpkins, but he's by himself. Scarecrows are very solo. So I feel like for you, destiny is when you make this journey, you're going to have to do this alone. Okay, and that probably scares the shit out of you. It probably does. It would scare me. I'm going to be honest. It's not easy making big choices by yourself. But I feel like that is also part of your mystic circle, your maze, your labyrinth. You are supposed to do this by yourself, okay? So I feel like the Seven of Pentacles, the energy in the past is you need change. You have desired it, you have manifested it, okay? You wanted something new, and that is exactly what is coming to you. So that is in the past. We have to the right, which is the future. And we have the King of Swords. I love it. So this cute little owl is our King of Swords in this card, but usually the King of Swords is somebody who is very intimidating, okay? A King of Swords energy is someone who is very, very, very confident and comfortable with themselves. They are comfortable with their thoughts. They are comfortable with their conversations. They say everything with power and truth. That is the epitome of a King of Swords is somebody who embraces integrity. They do not like people who lie, okay? So I feel like for a King of Swords coming up in your future, this is you saying, and I feel like this is a guide too. Maybe owls are very important to you, or you have a male guide, because I do feel like you have a strong spirit presence around you. Obviously, they were coming through in the reading. But I feel like this is like Spirit saying, it's time for you to put the big girl panties on. Let's do this. Okay. So I feel like they're saying you are on the right track. This is what you were supposed to be doing. It's not going to be comfortable, because anytime we are inviting change, especially when it comes to, go like this so you can see it. Anytime we are inviting drastic change, it's not supposed to be comfortable. Okay, it's not supposed to be easy. There's no growth when you're not challenged, right? So we're going to go up. So we're going right, left to the right. Now we're going to go up. This is, by the way, this is supposed to be a web. Up is if you move forward. So this is if you move. Okay, this is the card to represent if you move. What is the energy looking like? And we have the Eight of Swords. I freaking love it. Eight of Swords, my love, is whoop. And the Rider-Waite, it's that girl that is trapped in a circle of swords, and it looks like she's trapped, but in reality, she can free herself. She's not surrounded by the swords there. She can literally step out of them. And in this one, we have an individual holding a pumpkin, and it looks like they are inside a bird cage. And then they have a little devil here who's picking at them. The devil can represent your mind, your worries, your fears. and you may feel like you're being picked on. I also feel like this is the fear of loneliness. This is the fear of being trapped again. You are wanting to leave to escape feeling trapped or escape feeling, you know, the way you were feeling in the past, to get away from that essence. But I feel like the fear of actually making the move, you feel like you're going to end up imprisoning yourself in a whole different prison. And it's going to be a state of loneliness for you. But I'm actually feeling the opposite of this. I feel like this is actually your ticket of getting away. This is actually your ticket of freeing yourself from this kind of situation. It may not look like it right now, but I feel like once you're in that position, when you are actually in the moment, living there, it's going to feel like you've gotten free from that cage. That's the impression that I'm getting. But let's pull more cards and see what happens. So we're going to go down if you don't move. If you don't move, we have the Page of Wands. So Page of Wands is starting over. Pages are like students. They are children, the energy. They're student energy. They're young. They're learners, okay? And a Page of Wands is usually the indication of being inspired to start a new path. So if you were to stay and if you were to not move on, what you would have to do is start fresh and start over. And this is like, if I'm talking about like in a line of work, let's say, for example, this would be starting a new job, you know, being the new person, okay? You would have to basically restart your life, because you're going to want something different from what you're already used to, right? So if you do choose to stay home, there will still be that element of newness, that element of starting over. But you'll be in a more comfortable place, comfortable because it's familiar. But you will have to, it's like restarting your passions all over again. So either way, how I'm seeing it is no matter what you do, if you go or if you stay, you're still going to have to start over. You're still going to have to start a whole new cycle, right? So next we have the dead insect. What is binding you to this reality? What is holding you back? And we have the Five of Wands. This is conflict. This is listening to everyone else. This is other people's opinions getting to you. This is you fighting yourself. This is a mental, like you are fighting your own thoughts and your own dreams. It's like you are at odds with yourself. I really see it. I love that there's a bunch of pumpkins because here she's holding a pumpkin up above her. We have the lonely scarecrow in the patch of pumpkins. I mean, it's almost like the pumpkins represent you and what you're familiar with. You're just definitely at odds with yourself. So this card definitely represents you fighting it's like like I said, it's a mental thing. You keep going over and over again in your mind to make sense of everything. I feel like, and this is my intuition, I feel like if you were to stay put, you will find yourself feeling like a Seven of Pentacles again. This emotion will come up only because the environment will not change. You may stay put, you may stay in your hometown or wherever this place is to you. But if nothing changes and if you don't take initiative to try new things, like a Page of Wands, you will fall into the same cycle, okay? Versus if you are willing to free yourself from your cage, the cage resembling your mind, your thinking, there is freedom there. The Eight of Swords kind of says, I am afraid of moving, but I do have the ability to be free. It's just, will you set yourself free? It's crazy. I love how I see that. Someone else may look at this card and think, wow, I don't think that's a good idea to move just based on the card that pops up. But I see it as a different thing. I see it as a need. A need to do it, to fly. We're not meant to be in cages. It's just one of those things. Next, we have the butterfly. So we have the dead insect in our web. The butterfly is how can you let go and move on? This is like your hope card. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. How can you move on? How can you let go? The Eight of Pentacles is all about working to the result that you want. Eight of Pentacles is somebody who is constantly working, constantly building, pushing themselves to the end result that they are looking for. You have to work for it, basically is what it's saying. If you want to let go, if you want to be able to move on, to face your fears, you're going to have to work for it, and you're going to have to actually take action. So it's almost like the opposite, right? Rather than battling it and going it in your mind over and over again, actually putting some work into it to see an end result that you want. So I say, and this is based on my feelings, that I think you should do it. This is my opinion. I'm not telling you this is what you should do. I think you should do it. I think it's time you stop listening to everybody else. I think it's time you shut everyone else out. Their opinions don't matter. It's you. And quiet yourself. And I feel like as for homework for you, my love, turn everything off. Put the lights out, light a salt lamp if you have one. Sit in quietness and ask your guides, because your guides are around you and they're very loud. I could hear them like they were coming through when you're reading. Hold a crystal. I would recommend labradorite. It's like a psychic stone. And ask for clarity. Why am I so afraid? What am I supposed to do? Where is my heart leading me? Ask those questions, sit in silence, and feel what comes to you. What thoughts come to you, maybe you hear something, maybe you see something, a symbol comes into your mind, whatever. And ask yourself, and if you pull cards, pull a card for yourself and really dwell on it. But I do feel like you're in a maze and you're supposed to. This is a challenge for you. And it's most likely a challenge for you because you are used to being comfortable. You are used to settling. But settling isn't always happiness. Okay? So, with that said, this concludes your Within the Web reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, my love. And I hope that you are just given the guidance and the courage that you need to make your choices. And any choice that you make is not the wrong one or the right one. Everything is meant to happen as it's going to happen. So trust that. And anyone who's watching, this is the Within the Web reading. It is available in my shop. So if you are interested, click the links below, check me out, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, my loves.